What is good, Neo family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only Neo stock and help you guys better understand the price action of Neo and why I expect us to actually drop in the near-term future. I'm also going to talk about what's going on in the overall stock market and what you should be looking at, as we do have CPI data coming out tomorrow. This is going to be very important for Neo and the entire market, as we do have some major pieces of news coming out that could definitely affect the changes from the Fed. I'm also going to talk about the latest pieces of news affecting Neo that still make me very bullish for the long-term future before I talk about what Neo put on their Twitter page that makes me even more bullish. Now, before I say anything about Neo, before I talk about the share price or do any technical analysis, I do have to mention a couple of very important things first. The first thing is I'm not a financial planner, so please do not take this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. And not only benefits me, it benefits the entire Neo community as a whole. And the last thing is, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link down below and in the description. If you do sign up for Moomoo and deposit $100, you're not only going to qualify for up to 5 free stocks, each worth up to $3,500, but you're also going to get a free Neo share if you check out the offer down below and sign up. With that out of the way, guys, let's get on with the video. So looking at Neo, we did see something very interesting. Now we're up over 12.18% for the day. Let's go, guys. However, guys, this is kind of like a reaction to what's going on with the listing coming out from the Hong Kong exchange. And I do think that's going to be very huge for the long term, but for the short term, guys, there are some bearish indicators that came out that you guys need to be very well aware of. Now, before we get into details, guys, let's look at what happened at the market. As you guys can see, the entire market essentially was green. There was some red here and there, but the SPY was actually green, up 2.68%. I believe Tesla was also up, so was Apple, and the Nasdaq was also up almost, I think, like 2.68%, something like that. But look, the entire market is essentially green, right? And that did help Neo actually run up, as we were up over 12%, and that's a pretty good sign. But then we do have some very important things coming out tomorrow. So let's talk about this first before I talk about Neo. The Fear and Greed Index is currently at 16. Fear is driving the market right now. But here's the thing about that. It's not just fear that's causing it. It's more like there's uncertainty. There's uncertainty about how on earth this whole Ukraine situation is going to play out. There's uncertainty about what's going on with the CPI data, which is coming out tomorrow, guys. And this is going to be very, very important. So CPI data, or at least CPI, that's one of the ways you can measure inflation. I've heard from many economists that's not perfect, but generally the media, many economists, and many investors, they use CPI data, which is why it still is very important. Even though it's not the best way of looking at inflation, it still is very important, right? Because people accept it as the measure, and sure, it has merit. So I want to talk about that. So this is what this person stated. They're saying that Bloomberg economists or economics, they're dropping an inflation bomb. They project the February CPI data to show an increase of 8.0% year over year, to top out in the vicinity of 9% in March or April. But if oil continues to rise, CPI could even go above 10%, and that's going to be absolutely crazy. So here are the projections we have right here, the expectations. We have JP Morgan estimating an 8% CPI estimate. We have Morgan Stanley saying 8%. We have Barclays Bank is saying about 7.9%. HSBC saying 7.9%. Goldman Sachs saying 7.8%. So everyone's estimating it to be really high. And we don't want it to be too high, guys. We don't want it to crush these expectations. We want it to be below expectations. I mean, that would be the best for the market. But if it is high, and it is looking like it's going to be high, that's not going to be good for the stock market going forward. So what's happening to Neo and the market is, if CPI data is really bad, the market's going to drop. And what's happening to Neo right now is, look, I don't know about how we're going to really perform tomorrow. It's a little bit hard to tell. But in the days following it, I do see us descending, guys. We kind of found that very strong resistance at 2055. And we do have this gap right here at around the 18 to 18 $40 range. So it starts at 1840 on the 2-hour candles. But if we bring up the 5 minutes, you'll see the same thing, except it's a little bit different. So let's zoom all the way out. You guys can see it happened just at the opening. And then when you zoom into it, look at this. It starts at 18 flat. I believe it's 18. Yep, 18. So at 18, I do expect Neo to retrace down there very, very soon. That's a key indicator. Now, from the 5-minute candle, and that's typically like the best way to use the super trend, you're seeing a sell signal right up here. You guys see that? And we are on the verge of seeing what looks like like the curling of the 1348 EMA. So we may see a crossover and a drop within the next few days. So I'm just warning you guys about that. Those are just two of the indicators. Let's just look at a couple more before I talk about some bullish catalysts that are coming out too. So the MACD, it flipped with the 9-day moving average back here. This started us rising up, then we get a flip right here. It already caused that we're going to start dropping, right? It saw it right here. This is how sophisticated this thing is. We hit the high, but then it didn't flip again. It just kept going down and down and down. Now it's like sideways. RSI started actually descending a little bit. So give me one sec. Let me show you the 2-hour candle with this data. Now, when you look at it from a different way, we just started running up really hard over a short period of time. Still have that gap in RSI. It even starts descending in the 2-hour time frame. So that's an indicator that we're going to drop relatively soon. And that is what I predict, guys. I'm still very bullish for NEO for the long term. For the short term, I do see us descending a little bit and filling this gap. Now, I want to talk about something else that's very important. Even though NEO is dropping, I'm not losing faith in this company. Check this out right here. Why NEO stock is on fire today? It still is a fantastic company because right now they're expected to start deliveries of its flagship electric sedan, the ET7, by March 28th. Let's go, guys. They're killing it. The ET7 is a very luxurious car. It's going to be fantastic, and they are just crushing it in every way possible. They're starting deliveries for this. They're expanding all over the world. They're going to be releasing a new car perhaps in the future too. And many big investors are actually giving NEO some buy ratings. They're saying it's a very good price to buy it at. But I also want to talk about this right here. We have the ET7 test drives to begin in China very, very soon. I don't think they mentioned it here, but also NEO is on the verge of having their Hong Kong listing very soon. I believe it's already starting. We're in the starting phase right now. And that's part of the reason as to why NEO did run up the way it did. It's not just the ET7 being released and actually being delivered very soon. It's also this. So seeing the way this is running, this is like a reaction to the Hong Kong exchange. For the short term, we could drop back down. For the long term, I do see us running very hard in the future when small to mid caps start to take their place. It is a short squeeze target in my opinion too, and I'm still very bullish for NEO going into the future. Don't forget their expansion, the technology, the community that they are building, and they're a fantastic company. Now, to end the video, I want to talk about this right here. NEO put on their Twitter page that NEO is readying a model with semi-solid battery, while it also offers innovations like EV battery swap stations to solve the dreaded range anxiety. It's therefore not by accident that Ford is eyeing Tesla and NEO as the EV companies to aspire to. And that's a fact, guys. Ford's CEO is talking about the fact that they're looking into NEO's technology. They're aspiring to be as great as NEO. No, I'm not trying to say that one's better than the other or anything like that. I'm just trying to put it out there that they're seeing NEO's business model. They know it's a fantastic company. The Ford CEO knows it. His name is Jim Farley, I believe. Yeah, he knows it, right? He knows they're a fantastic company. He knows they have innovation. And it's not just him, guys. People all over the world know what this company is going to do in the future. So you just got to be patient. Anyways, I want to thank you all for listening. Please have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. NEO to the moon, and peace out.